Hey guys, Jonathan here. In this video, I'm going to be going over the best ways to make money in 2025. I'm going to be ranking these based off of how easy they are to start up, how much money you can make, and how much freedom they can provide after you get them started up. Now, remember, everything we're talking about can make you money, lots of money. We're just going from good opportunities all the way up to the absolute best ones. And all these opportunities are found in what's called the gig economy. Gig is just a slang for engagement. The term was used by jazz musicians in the 1900s when they would get hired to play a gig. The gig economy grew as work or services were performed without formal employment. Migrant workers to temps to the remote workers with the advent of the dot-com era, and now today, 1 out of 3 people do some kind of freelance work. More and more people understand that the one job they have, if they have one, isn't enough to cut it. You got to have a second or even a third job to take care of all the bills. But if you're going to work for 3 bosses, then you're likely not going to have any time left at the end of the day. And that sucks. But good news, I've got the solution, and 68 million people have figured it out, or 27% of the workforce are bringing in a paycheck from the gig economy. And you don't have to quit your job unless you want to. After you start pulling in enough income from your side hustle, you can make it your main hustle. Today, the total global market gig economy is pulling in $582 billion with a B dollars and is going to more than triple to 2.1 trillion with a T by 2034. So, where do you start if you want to grab some of the money that's being spread around the gig economy while AI is replacing 100 jobs a second? Enter Fiverr, Fiverr.com, a global online marketplace that connects freelancers with individuals and businesses in need of various digital services. Put simply, it's a giant website where you can take a skill that you have and sell it digitally to a global market without having to seek out buyers or do any advertising. That makes it so nice and easy to get started. When you get on, there's over 700 plus categories to offer buyers that include but aren't limited to graphics and design, digital marketing, writing and translation, programming and tech, video and animation, music and audio, business and lifestyle, and there's tons of subcategories in each of those. They really make it easy to find something you're good at and sell it to the world. Fiverr has an enormous buying clientele with 3.6 million active buyers on Fiverr every day, and sellers took home $795 million so far this year. So if you feel like your job's not cutting it and you want a piece of this gig economy, Fiverr is pretty solid for getting started because you don't need tons of experience. There are millions of buyers already on there. Pricing is transparent. You can reach people globally 24/7. And it's more about what you can do than the degrees you have. The best part is you work from home, and it's not an 8-hour-a-day thing either. You can do this while you have your job and get good enough and even replace your job if you want to, because it's really about time. You want to make enough to free up your time, and right now I'm going to go over some gigs that will help you do just that. First up on the list, you have basic graphic design. I go all the way back to gem paint and floppy disks playing the Oregon Trail. No joke. But you can use simple tools like Canva or Figma, which are like super-powered versions of Microsoft Paint. This is just about making things look good. Imagine a small local coffee shop needs a new logo for their bags or a poster for their social media. They don't have a lot of money and they just need something that looks clean and professional, not a masterpiece. Design things like a simple logo, a header for Twitter profile, or a flyer for a school club. I like Photoshop, but it's a little pricier. Your job is to make sure colors match, words are easy to read, and the final image is the right size and type for what the client needs. It's a great way to start in the creative world because you're helping people with a real simple problem. So we'll throw that right over here on C tier. Next, course creation for business. This is a big one. Think of a business that's really good at something, like a fitness company that's great at personal training. They want to sell their knowledge to a wider audience, so they hire you to turn their ideas into an online course. Your job is to organize all their information to make it easy to learn. You might write scripts for their videos, design all the slides they'll use, or create quizzes to test people's knowledge. It's not about making a video, it's about building a whole learning experience that actually teaches someone something. This gig pays a lot because you're creating a product for the business that can make them money for years. So we'll throw that over here on the A tier. Okay. Look over here at simple transcription. This is a very straightforward job. You get an audio file, maybe from a podcast or a video call, and you listen to it, and you type out every single word you hear. The main skills you need are good listening and fast, accurate typing. People or companies need this for things like creating captions for YouTube videos or getting a written record of an important meeting. It's a foundational gig that helps you earn money and shows you're reliable, even though it doesn't pay a ton. Secret sauce, there's a bunch of free transcription services out there. Google them. Just obviously go back and check and make sure this transcription does line up with the audio. We'll put that here on the D tier. Okay, SEO audits. This is like being a doctor for a website. Business comes to you and says, my website isn't showing up on Google. Can you help me? Your job is to do an audit or a checkup. You use special tools, both free and paid, to look at their website and find problems. You check things like, is the website really slow? Are there any broken links? Are they using the right keywords so Google knows what they do? You can give them a report that's easy to understand and tells them exactly what they need to fix. This is a great gig because you're giving them a clear plan to improve their business. So let's throw this on the C tier. Okay, video editing. This is one of my gigs. In this job, you're the one who makes the video look cool. Someone gives you a bunch of raw clips they shot on their camera or their phone, and it's your job to turn them into a finished, polished video. You'll use professional software like Adobe Premiere. That's what I use to cut out the bad parts, put the clips in the right order, and add things like background music, text on the screen, and cool transitions. This is a very high demand skill right now because everyone from YouTubers to small businesses need professional looking videos. And the better and faster you are, the more you can charge. Like I said, I work in Adobe Premiere. It's like $23 a month, but you go to quit and they'll ask you to stay, and you can stay for like $16 a month. Lots of free YouTube videos explaining how to learn, but like most things, just getting in there and working is the best teacher. I learned Pinnacle, Final Cut, iMovie, and Premiere. So we're going to put that in the B tier. All right, let's go to Done For You agency services. This one is a cheat code. Instead of grinding out dozens of small gigs yourself, you provide white label services to other agencies. Think about it. You're basically the secret weapon behind the curtain. They land the clients, you deliver the results, and you pocket predictable, recurring income every single month. We're talking 5K to 50K plus MRR stacking on top of itself like compound interest. The best part, it scales way beyond just your personal time. You can build a small team, put systems in place, and suddenly you're not just freelancing, you're running an actual business that grows while you sleep. So let's take that one and throw it up here on the S tier. Okay. Next, let's go to basic data entry. This is one of the most basic jobs you can do. It's literally just taking information from one place and putting it into another. For example, a business might give you a bunch of paper forms and you have to type all the names and addresses into a spreadsheet. It's not creative or high paying, but it's a way to get your experience and build a reputation for being accurate and fast. It's often called a gateway gig because it's a good place to get your foot in the door. Let's throw that on the D tier. Okay, let's head over to sales funnel development. This is where you build the whole system for how a business makes a sale online. Think of it like building a digital machine. You're creating the landing page, the first page a customer sees, the series of emails they get after they sign up, and the checkout page where they buy something. The goal is to design a seamless path that takes someone who's just curious and guides them all the way to becoming a paying customer. This is an A-tier gig because you're not just making a website. You're building a system that directly makes the client more money. Okay. Let's see. Copywriting. Copywriting is all about writing words that sell things. This is different from normal writing, like for a blog post. Copywriting is for things like ads, sales, emails, and the descriptions on a website. Your goal is to use persuasive language to get people to buy a product, sign up for a newsletter, or click a button. You need to understand what motivates people and what words will convince them to take action. It's a high reward skill because the better your words are, the more sales you can generate for a business. So let's go ahead and throw this up on the B tier. All right, let's go back down. And how about WordPress setup maintenance? Okay, WordPress is a very popular tool for building websites. Your job here is to help businesses set up and take care of their WordPress site. You might install a new design template for them, add a new feature like a contact form, fix any bugs that come up. It's a great middle ground gig because it combines a little technical knowledge with some design work. Businesses love this because they get a working website without having to know and do everything themselves. So let's throw this on the C tier. Okay. How about business automation system setup? This is a powerful gig because you're helping businesses save time and money. Many companies do a lot of repetitive tasks like sending follow-up emails or moving information between different apps. You use a tool like Zapier to connect their different software and make these tasks happen automatically. For example, when a new lead fills out a form on their website, you can set it up so an email is automatically sent to them and a reminder is created for the sales team. You're building an efficient system that helps them avoid manual work. So let's throw this up on the A tier. Okay, next, content writing. Content writing is the bread and butter of the writing world. You're writing things like blog posts, articles, and descriptions for websites. The goal is to provide useful, interesting information to a reader. It's not about selling directly, that's copywriting, but about building trust and getting more people to visit a website. It's a good starting point for writers because there's always a need for new content, and you can get a lot of consistent work. So let's put this on the D tier. All right, let's take a look at specialized software app development. This is where things get really serious. Instead of just building websites or editing videos, you're creating custom software solutions for entire industries. A single project can run $10K all the way up to $500,000. And here's the kicker. You're not just doing client work. You're building intellectual property. That means the code you write, the tools you develop, the apps you design, they can spin off into your very own SaaS products. In other words, you're building assets that can pay you over and over again, long after the initial project is done. It's high stakes, high skill, and absolutely S tier if you're willing to put in the work. So let's throw that up here on the S tier. Let's go next with advanced graphic design. This is the next level of design. You're not just making a single flyer, you're creating a full brand identity. This means you're designing a professional logo, choosing the colors and fonts the brand will always use, and creating a style guide for how all the materials should look. You'll need to use more advanced software like Adobe Illustrator. This is for more serious businesses that want a high-end, cohesive look that makes them seem legit. So let's throw that on the B tier. Okay. And how about social media content creation? This job is all about creating posts for a business social media accounts. Businesses know they need to regularly post to stay relevant, but they don't have time. You create a series of posts like images with catchy captions, short videos, or little infographics that a business can use for the whole month. It's a great gig for people who are creative and know what makes a good social media post. It often leads to ongoing monthly work. So let's take that one and throw it on the C tier here. Okay. And marketing strategy consulting. In this job, you're the expert advisor. You don't necessarily do the marketing yourself. You tell the businesses what they should do. You look at their brand, who their customers are, and what their goals are, and you create a detailed plan for how they can reach more people and grow. You're basically giving them a roadmap for success. This pays a lot because you're providing high-level advice that can make a huge difference to a business. So we're going to plop that one into the A tier. And let's see. Custom web development. This is for people who know how to code. While WordPress is like building with a kit, custom web development is like building a car from scratch. You use coding language to create a website or app that has specific features a business needs, like a unique booking system or a special kind of customer dashboard. The products are more complex and require more technical skill, but because you're building something unique, the pay is very high. So we'll plop that one here into the B tier. Okay. Basic virtual assistant tasks. A virtual assistant is someone who helps a business owner with their day-to-day tasks from a different location. It's a flexible gig that can lead to a variety of simple duties like scheduling appointments, answering emails, or doing online research. You need to be organized and reliable, but you don't need any special skill to start. It's a great way to get a lot of experience and work with lots of different kinds of people. So we'll put this one in the D tier. Okay. High-level business consulting. This is the top of the top. You're not just helping a business with marketing or a website. You're advising them on their entire future. You might help an established company decide if they should expand into a new country or if they should buy another business. You're using a lot of experience and a strong reputation to provide high-stakes advice that can change the course of a company. This is where the big money and influence are. So this one is definitely going to go into the S tier. All right, and finally, digital product development. This is the ultimate goal of a freelancer. Instead of working for a client on a project, you create your own product that you can sell to many, many people. This could be an ebook, a collection of templates for a social media account, or a special app. The hard part is building and marketing it yourself, but once you're done, it can make you money over and over again without any extra work. This is how you stop trading your time for money and start building a business that works for you. Definitely our final one for the S tier. And now I didn't include voiceover and spokesperson work, which are quite excellent and have earned me over $244,000 on Fiverr. Check out the other videos on my channel if you're interested in hearing more about that. But everything on this list actually works. It all comes down to what you personally value. And for me, I personally value financial freedom, time freedom, and having a business that actually works for me so I can fuel that cash flow into an investing asset like crypto. And that's why I believe building a gig on Fiverr is one of the best ways for you to make money online. Now, look, I'll be real. It's not an overnight success. There are a few steps you got to take. However, once you get to that point, you have so much more leverage over your income and over your time. And you're building something that's long-term. That's really the mindset you have to have. Because I believe that the longer time frames you're thinking in, the more money you're inevitably going to make. And so if you're interested in starting your own Fiverr gig and you want somebody to hold your hand through the whole process, start to finish, you can click on the link in the description and apply to Jonathan's Fiverr Life, a mentorship program that I own. So if you're interested in that, click on the link and book a call with me directly. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.